Cinnamon stars at winter market. Snow falls in slow spirals, drifting like powdered sugar shaken from an unseen sieve, softening the edges of the winter market until everything seems dipped in sweetness. The stalls glow in rows beneath strings of golden bulbs, their velvet drapes the color of warm mulled wine. Lanterns swing gently in the crisp breeze, casting trembling halos across the cobblestones. The air hums with laughter and chatter, with the crackle of chestnuts roasting and the distant tolling of the old cathedral bell, a sound soft by the snow until it feels almost like a memory. Aria's stall sits near the heart of it all, crowned with garlands dusted in frost and ribbons that flutter like small, hopeful flags. She sells cinnamon star cookies baked from her grandmother's recipe, the one written in looping handwriting on a stained paper she keeps tucked close to her chest. Each batch fills the air with a warm scent that threads through the cold like a whispered invitation. When people bite into them, the crisp edge yields to a soft spice center that seems, for a moment, to thaw the winter itself. Aria watches their faces light up, and though she smiles, a thin thread of sadness knots quietly inside her, stitched from the absence of her grandmother, the one who taught her that baking was a kind of love, spoken with hands instead of words. One evening, as the sky bruises into shades of indigo and silver, a violin begins to sing across the market. The notes drift like silk ribbons unfurling in the air, each one delicate yet impossibly sure of itself. Aria looks up from her stall to find the musician standing beneath a lamppost, the light haloing him in gold. His violin catches the glow as if it were dipped in dawn. His bow glides effortlessly, and the melody curls around her like a warm breath, threading through the cold and settling into her bones. People gather around him as though drawn by a spell. Children, bright-cheeked and wide-eyed, clutch their parents' hands. Elderly couples pause mid-step, leaning into one another. Even the vendors, battle-hardened against distraction, let their gazes drift toward the music. Aria can't look away either. The violinist's eyes are closed, lashes dusted with snowflakes that refuse to melt, and the faintest ghost of a smile curves his lips as though the music is a secret he's choosing to share. When he finishes the piece, the applause is soft but full, like snowfall made audible. Aria hesitates, then lifts a steaming cup of cocoa from her counter and crosses the narrow pathway to him. Up close, she sees that his hands tremble slightly from the cold. She offers him the cup with a shy smile. "You look like you need this," she says, her breath fogging between them. He accepts it with both hands, bell still dangling loosely from his fingers. "Thank you," he replies, his voice warm despite the frost clinging to his collar. "I didn't realize how cold I was until you walked over." She laughs softly, feeling a flesh bloom beneath her scarf. "I'm Aria," she adds. "Noel," he says. "Thank you for the warmth." And the timing. He plays again that evening, softer now, gentler, and Aria listens while tending her stall, each note settling into the space's grief left hollow. When the market closes, Noel lingers, packing his violin away with deliberate care. Aria ties up her boxes and folds her cloths. Snow thickens around them, blurring the world into a soft white hush. Noel plays a final quiet tune just for her, the sound threading between the falling flakes. In that cocoon of music and snow, Aria feels something inside her shift, a light unfurling in a place she thought had gone dark. Over the next days, Noel becomes a familiar presence, a quiet star orbiting the periphery of her evenings. He sets up across from her booth at dusk, drawing small, enchanted crowds. Between customers, she glances up to find him already watching, his gaze warm, curious, as if learning the shape of her smile is part of his music. They talk between songs and sales. She tells him about her grandmother, about the recipe older than the market's bells, about how she hasn't danced since the night they lost her. Noel tells her about his younger sibling, the one he supports with his busking, about the fear of not being enough, about how music is the only place he feels whole. One evening, the snow falls thicker than ever, great dreamy flakes drifting past lamplight like floating petals. Aria's fingers are numb, but her smile is bright as customers dot her stall with warmth and coins in praise. Noel's music floats over the crowd like an illuminated thread, stitching people together in its gentle pull. When the stalls begin to close and the air grows still again, he steps toward her. "You're cold," he murmurs, brushing a bit of snow from her coat. The gesture is gentle, almost reverent. "So are you," she counters. He laughs softly, the sound warm enough to melt frost. Then, with the market empty except for the lanterns swaying on their strings, he lifts his violin once more, but instead of playing, he holds out his free hand to her. His glove is worn at the fingertips. His eyes are bright, those shadows of uncertainty flicker there. "Will you dance with me?" he asks. Aria's breath catches. Grief presses against her ribs, familiar and heavy, but something else rises too. The amber glow of the lanterns, the soft hush of the snow, the echo of her grandmother's voice saying the world is still full of small, beautiful things, even when you hurt. So she places her hand into his. Noel begins to hum a tune, soft and steady. They sway together under the falling snow, boots tracing hesitant arcs on the cobblestones. The lamplight turns the flakes into drifting sparks. The whole world seems to slow, holding them in a fragile, shimmering pause. Aria feels her heart softening, like ice cracking under the promise of spring. As they move, slow, imperfect, beautiful, the grief doesn't vanish, but it loosens its grip, letting warmth seep in around the edges. Noel's hand is steady on her back. Her cheek brushes his coat. Their breaths mingle in clouds that rise like small prayers into the winter night. And for the first time since losing her grandmother, Aria feels the unmistakable bloom of something bright, something hopeful, a warmth unfurling like cinnamon on the tongue. A beginning,